Hare Krishna. Uh, really a great day here today in New Rajadhan. Yesterday, it was blistering hot. It was even hot for me. But today it's cooled down significantly, mysteriously so. Ideal weather. It's about 20 degrees. The, it's cloudy. It's cool. It's not raining. Uh, too cool to be for people to be swimming in the lake, but ideal weather for a fair. So we're expecting good turnout today. Yesterday we had about 600 people, and that's sort of an average for a Friday. Let's see how we do today. I'll probably get into 2 or 3,000 numbers. Just a minute, I need to see if this is my guest who I'm waiting for. Is supposed to be on his way and phone me when he's coming, but it's not. And looking forward to an exciting day today. The question for today sort of continues on from yesterday, not necessarily my favorite topic. Uh, Further on Vaishnava Aparad and how to deal with such things. This is from Chaitanya Priya in Coventry, who says one of the six anarthas that destroys one's bhakti is fault finding. However, what do we do when there are certain devotees who are behaving inappropriately, causing offenses, who personally hurt you? I sometimes need to remember their faults so that I can remember not to associate with them. I don't use it against them, but when I forget what bad someone has done to me, I forgive them and get hurt again. Is it alright to remember others' faults for my own protection? How do I learn not to associate with certain devotees who have some harmful qualities without finding fault and destroying my bhakti? I say that I'm not so keen on this topic of Vaishnava Aparad because I just, I think that devotees persist on it too much. And for me, one of the main reasons is because they don't know how to relate as people, or we don't know how to relate to each other in a social way, and because we lack social skills, therefore we get hung up on these, or call it dharma. We don't know how to apply the principles of dharma. We really get hung up on trying to apply the principles of paro dharma to our everyday life. And because we're not transcendentalists, we're not paro, therefore we become confused. And so I would just suggest that devotees start learning how to interact in our Vaishnav society, learning the skills of Vaishnav interaction. What is Varnashram all about? It's not just about feeding cows and taking care of them. Varnashram is about having a social structure and knowing how to interact with that social structure in a way that's pleasing to Krishna and that assists you in practicing Krishna consciousness. Uh, and I would encourage devotees to understand these things, these principles, which Srila Prabhupada summarized when he said, first be conscious and then be Krishna conscious. There's no learn what it means to be a perfect gentleman, perfect gentle lady, and in that way apply Krishna consciousness in your day-to-day life. It's just quick neti on Vaishnav Aparad. What is what it isn't or what it is. Maybe I'll start with what it is. Uh, Vaishnava Aparad, or let me start when it isn't. Vaishnava Aparad isn't just telling people the truth. It's not being. It isn't just being straightforward with someone in a Vaishnav-like way. Neti Neti, Vaishnava Aparad, or now the other, what it is. Vaishnava aparad is more finding fault with people, when you criticize people for the wrong motive, when you overlook their good qualities and just emphasize the bad qualities that may naturally be there in a practicing devotee. When you uh, try to correct someone improperly in an improper place, in an improper way, or someone who is senior to you, superior to you, for whom you're supposed to actually keep mum. Or if you have some right of communication on the basis of service, interaction, whatever, then that you don't do that in a proper way, and your methodology disqualifies your theme or your subject. Uh, Many topics like this that are related to improper time, place, circumstance, and methodology, which deal with motive. So these things are offensive in terms of interaction. And then those things, proper communication, or even having a vision of who is advanced and who isn't advanced. Rupa Goswami tells us we should practice this, we should know that. And he also tells us that when someone doesn't behave properly or someone is very neophyte, then we should keep a certain type of distance. One should always be respectful to all Vaishnavas. But if someone's association is not conducive to my spiritual life, then bhakti charana pranami, then keep a distance. You can offer your obeisances, offer your respects to them from a distance. One doesn't have to be closely associated with them. And Srila Prabhupada therefore uses this phrase that one should be intelligent enough to know the distinction between different levels of devotees. However, this sometimes I may say excessive concern, even paranoia of aparad has its other aspect. And that's when we really go overboard over someone who we see has good qualities, or even if we don't see qualities, but because someone has some position like a spiritual master, sannyasi, guru, then our behavior swings to the pendulum on the other side. Just because someone is called a Vaishnav guru, then immediately we superimpose all kinds of imaginary qualities on them, and perhaps even overlook real indiscretions just because of our blindness in that way. So that's also one thing, is to unnecessarily find fault. The other one is not to actually have a proper perspective on things. So, Srila Prabhupada, as I mentioned, Prabhupada says one should be intelligent enough to deal with different devotees and deal different ways. One should be able to recognize where those devotees stand in Krishna consciousness, and then apply the principles of sadhu sangha. If someone is truly more elevated and advanced, then one should serve that person. And on the other hand, if someone's a beginner, a kanishta, as I mentioned yesterday, kanishta adhikari or a bhakta bas, if someone doesn't know how to relate to others, not chachani subhakteshu, he doesn't know how to interact with other Vaishnavas, then that person should be considered, should be kept at a distance, respectful distance. So, knowing how to interact, knowing the rules of Dharma, knowing what social interaction demands of us, requests of us, and also knowing how to recognize Vaishnavas